Hi there, everyone. Are you fired up for freelancing? I'm Susan Rook-Diatori here on behalf of the No Pants Nation and the official No Pants Show, where every week we talk to people who can help you on your own path towards the freedom and flexibility of a freelancer's style. Our guest today, someone who I am so excited to talk to, Greg Reed. Real estate businessman, online businessman, blogger, speaker, entrepreneur. And that's before we talk about the writing. Greg, you are a best-selling author on Amazon, nonfiction and fiction, 9 number ones on the Amazon list in the US and UK. In April, you just signed with a publisher. You've got a new book out. I'm a fan of the Jack Creed series, Mystery and Suspense, where your writing is C.T. Mitchell. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Susan, it's an absolute pleasure to be on. I'm so thrilled for us to connect. We've had our little book relationship that's gone on for a while, and now I get to meet you in person. We get to speak in person, and I'm excited. I'm really pumped up.
This is awesome. So I've got to ask, your detective, Jack Reed, your name is Greg Reed. Is he you?
Let me think. Let me just see how I got that character. Did I look in the mirror? Jack is a bit of a knock-around Australian guy. He's he does things a little bit obscure. He doesn't have the standard police car. He drives a '67 Mustang. He's got the short grey hair. He wears the sort of Italian linen suits. The Italian loafer shoes, that sort of look. I don't know where I got the idea from, Susan. Maybe.
Well, so that's a perfect lead into the No Pants Project. One of the things that is really stressed in the No Pants Project is write and do what you know and love.
Mm.
So when we talk about developing a superpower, you really have to look internally to find out what your superpower is, how to market it, how to get paid for it, etc. So it's perfect that your famous detective really is you.
Well, it's maybe where I am inspiring to go myself, perhaps. My alter ego is Jack Creed, perhaps. So but I can draw a lot of comparisons out of Jack, and I draw a lot of things for my real estate career. All the kind of people I met, and you meet some very, very interesting characters when you're a real estate agent. So that's how I can put together a few other characters for the book as well.
So I've got to ask, with all of this stuff going on, you started the No Pants Project. Do you sleep?
I sleep. And look, the reason I joined No Pants Project is because I still have an involvement in real estate here in Australia, and I'm looking for an escape route as well. And when Mike Shreve put up the No Pants Project, I've got to confess, I'm a bit of a Mike Shreve addict. I'm a fan.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Absolutely.
Everything he's ever written.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal. And one of the things that I really like about him is he's genuine. He's real.
Yeah.
When he says, I want you to live a freelancer lifestyle so that you can go out and have a life.
Yeah.
He means it.
Yeah, he does. And so Mike and I connected through a writing club when we were both doing the fiction work. And he helped me tremendously. And the comment you make about him being genuine, that was the thing that really came through. He was so genuine, so helpful. And, when he said, hey, I've got something, I knew that he would basically over-deliver. I could really trust the guy. I had that instant trust to get into partnership of doing this program with him. And he's exceeded that as well.
Now, you also mentioned your real estate holdings and the corporate. You and I met in the No Pants Project when you were having, can I say it, a bit of a meltdown. You were stuck
Me?
and frustrated, and this happens to every single human. And I see this theme time and time again in comments in the open community. And I just want to reach out to every single person and say, oh, every single successful person has been exactly where you are. Every single successful person will be exactly where you are. This is
Yeah.
part of being human, and it's maddening when you're in it. So, how did the No Pants Project group, the coaching, the people involved in it, help you when you were struggling?
Um, I think the first thing I did with No Pants is that I went into it because I was wanting, as I said, that escape route. So I created a clear vision for what No Pants could do for me. They were going to give me this step-by-step process to get from where I was to where I really wanted to go. And that was to become, in my sense, a copywriter and to write and create that sort of business, because it would give me some flexibility. I could travel, I could do a whole heap of things. I could do the business off the computer anywhere in the world. I could sit at night talking to fantastic presenters like yourself, whatever. So that was the goal. And when I was starting to struggle, because I had so many things going on in real estate, I liaise with 80 real estate officers. I can't say every day, but that's my core group. And I'm extremely busy, and I travel, and I'm always on a plane, or I'm always going somewhere. Plus, I'm trying to write some books. And so what I found is that I was struggling and not going everywhere. I got in the rowboat to get myself on the escape route, and then I saw these little tributaries down the side, and I thought, oh, I'll go investigate that. And I was running off and making a whole mess. So the first thing I did is I acknowledged I had a problem. That was the first step. The second step is that I went out, like you said, and sought a bit of support. And I got the support from being inside No Pants Project, because the communities that we've got on Facebook are really responsive. And people said there, hey, Greg, I'm also struggling. And hey, Greg, I'm too. And I've been doing this. And all of a sudden I realized that I wasn't the only person struggling. There are others out there going through it. And basically what I need to do was to, keep on moving forward. So I just sat back and I reassessed, as I said, that goal. And I wanted to know where I was going. And I just went through a process. The first thing I really did do, though, was declutter my whole mind. That was one big step I took. I went to my inbox and I went, nope, I don't do anything with you. No point getting your email. Click, unclick, unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe. Because I got myself into a process. I mean, I had Mike Shreve telling me everything to do about becoming a freelance person and do it successfully. He had given me a step-by-step process, not only in video, but also in printed format. I could go back and review it any single time that I wanted to. But here I was looking at, Mr. Guru over here and Miss Guru here. And I kept on taking all of their stuff, emails, and they'd give me another idea. So my rowboat to success, I was going down this little side path. I was going to these.
Greg, I can so relate. Oh, and I'm sure the people in the No Pants Open community can relate. It's even got a name, shiny object syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Where everything, and like that rowboat, you're just going bzz, 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 all over the place.
Yeah, and the gurus that you meet online, there's so much stuff. I mean, in the United States, you have the terminology fake news. Well, there are so many fake gurus in the world, isn't there? And so you get to meet all these different people, and you're starting to take things on. But the silly thing is, I had the man, I had the team that I invested in beforehand who was really going to deliver and over-deliver, because he'd done it for me before. He was the man who gave me my plotting strategies to write my fiction books, which I've used and helped and marketed. And as we said before, 9 or 10 of them have gone #1 in category on Amazon. It was Mike Shreve who spent time on Facebook giving me the actual messages of how to do it. That's how generous that guy is.
I absolutely agree with you. And your new website, emailedgar.com,
Yeah.
says, quote, and this is you writing as C.T. Mitchell. So this is your author, nom de plume.
Yeah.
And I love the quote at the very beginning of the website. They laughed at me when I said that I still use email until I hit #1 on Amazon.
Yeah.
So you brought that emphasis on email, the emphasis on over delivering, the emphasis on really being responsive to your fans, your readers, your customers as an
Yeah.
author. You
Yeah.
brought that into the No Pants Project, and now what are you doing?
Well, I'm still doing my fiction and I'm still relating because I've said I enjoy being with people. Like I enjoy chatting with you tonight. I enjoy all my readers. I know you're one of my readers in the group, and we chat little emails away. And my concept always was to get to know my readers more and to serve them and to help them. And I wanted to get to know them. I wanted to be able to relate to them. And I just didn't want to say, hi, here's my next book. Hi, here's my next book, which is what I find so many either business owners or in my case, authors were doing. And so I've been able to build those relationships. So I've got a fairly good idea who you are as a generality. I know the things that you like, you don't kind of like. I understand a bit of the pains, and most people are around a similar age to myself. So that was the concept. I wanted to then take that into a business that was about email writing, because where I am structured in the fiction world is in short reach, short books. I like writing things that are short, sharp, fast, enables a
Funny,
reader. Funny, yeah,
funny, yes.
yeah. I love the humor of things, absolutely. And so in email, I can do that as well. I can be a little bit humorous in my emails. I can do something short, sharp, and fast, and it's flexible. So Email Edgar is about writing email copy services for people, and I've been able to pick up a number of clients who are doing bizarre things. Like I'm writing email campaigns for hot air balloonists and
Are you
management.
really? Is that
Yeah.
the one that you just got?
Yeah, the one I've just got is actually a guy who is he's a what do I call him? Like a management consultant, and he goes into businesses and kind of dissects the business down to simple terms and helps the staff to engage with each other and whatever. And he does a fantastic job. And he was looking to sell his service. He has a service that he puts up that he sells for like a 3-month period, a consulting thing. People get to chat to him about 9 different times over the 3 months. And he was trying to get that marketed. So with the help of Mike Shreve and the No Pants Project, I was able to look at some sales templates, get some ideas together, and I wrote the sales template for this guy. And this is the lucky part. He sent the email to one particular person that he was trying. He was just trying the thing out. And the company came back and went, bang, we'll buy that. We'll take you on. So he got his first client within the space of, I don't know, a couple of days or something to that nature of having sent it out. Now he's going to use this process obviously over and over. And so hopefully we're at 100% so far. The odds are going to go down, but yeah, no, it's great.
So, Greg, when you first started the No Pants Project, you were pretty stuck.
Yeah.
In that sense, you had all of this stuff going on. You had shiny object syndrome. You
Yeah.
were tired. You actually started the No Pants Project when you were traveling, and you were
Yeah.
doing this while you were at sea
I was
on
on the boat. Yeah.
Wi-Fi. you were jamming this into an already busy schedule.
Yeah.
People in the No Pants open community, they're working full time. They've got families that trying to, some of them even already have a side hustle that they're trying to work on, etc.
Yeah.
So you do understand the pain of your corporate clients as well as the pain of the other people that are in the No Pants open community,
Sure.
because we are all trying to move ourselves forward. How
Mm.
did the No Pants project help you get unstuck?
It got me unstuck because I said I made the decision that I needed to reassess where I was. I was able to go back inside the community and reconnect. So I started to watch the videos. I got onto the live chats that Mike was doing. I started to read the blog posts. I started to read the emails. And then I went back into all of the actual trainings that had been put up. And of course, they had expanded so much from day one. You know, the course was huge then, and then Mike made it like super huge. I just went through, and what I decided was that I would take one thing and do one thing and finish one thing. So instead of me being distracted trying to do 47 things all at one time and going nowhere, I would take one concept and move it to the next, and I would complete that task. And that was like a little tick box. So it's like doing your daily worksheet, your to-do list or something. You tick something off. Very, very similar. So in the No Pants project, everything's laid out for you. It's a step-by-step process. Mike has to sort of throw a few things in the air and sort of hope they all come down. He actually has a process. And he starts off quite deep, and for you to go inside yourself and to work out what you are about and what you're going to do and what you're going to offer. It's quite an in-depth process, and make sure you look at your inner strengths. Like you mentioned earlier, you've got to come up with your superpower. And you think maybe initially what that could be, or you have a vision because you're looking outside and you think, I want to be like Susan or something, you know, and all of a sudden, while everyone does, not all of us obviously can be, and we've got to find that superpower. And we find that thing that resonates, because once you've got the superpower, you're also far more confident. You're far more able to go out and you can talk with conviction. No matter what somebody says to you, you may not have all the answers, but you've got the conviction there in your heart and you know it. And makes your life a whole lot easier because you're doing it that way.
Ooh, I can relate to that. I too, like many people, suffer from shiny object syndrome. I've had that completely cluttered email. I've gone bouncing here and there. And one of the things that I found very different about the No Pants project was it said, stop. I will walk you step by step through every single technical thing that you need to learn and do. But wait, before we go there, you're going to go inside. And I went into the No Pants project thinking I was going to go in one particular direction.
Mm-hmm.
After doing the initial work, I'm a ghostwriter, and I gently disengaged. I don't like to say fired, but I gently disengaged from 2 clients. They were the top paying clients. I was extremely worried because as a freelancer, when you say goodbye to a couple well-paying clients, it's maddening. And I replaced those 2 clients with one client who is a dream client, and I'm making more money than before. So I went into the No Pants project thinking one thing, and now I'm still in the No Pants project, but it's counterintuitive. All of the other programs say, I'm going to send you templates and worksheets and do this. And it's almost the opposite of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, I think we're all different too. And somebody sends a program or a training based on their thoughts or their processes, which maybe not the thing. I mean, recently I just did one of those, what they call those DISC programs. Now, you know, the DISC, and it tells you whether you're a D or an I. And if somebody writes the program as a D and they don't explain it well enough, somebody who is a C, for example, just doesn't get it, or they can't work it out. And we get in this process and we say, I'm not good enough. But that's just not true at all. You got to, I think one of the things like you just pointed out, look at your strengths that you have and you work on those strengths and you stick to them, and you kind of like don't worry about whatever else is doing. This is your strength, this is your path, and this is the way to go.
So I want to circle back to your writing. How's the new book going?
Your book's going great. I was very fortunate. I ended up getting a traditional contract out of a British publishing company called Austin Macaulay. And they,
Congratulations, by the way. That's huge. You started out self-publishing and basically did all of this yourself. And then when you announced that you had gotten the publisher's contract, everyone in the No Pants Project was like, "Yes, go!"
yeah, well, it's exciting, and they're an up and coming firm, and they've got things happening, and we got the contract. And one of the great little things was that I always wanted to be a member of the Crime Writers Association of the UK. That's where all the big crime writers hang out. So your James Patterson, your Lee Childs, your Peter Jameses, your Anne Cleves, all these people who are won numerous awards and sell millions of books. That's where they are. And I wanted to get in there. And you couldn't get in unless you were published by a traditional publisher. And they won't take self-publishers, you see. Even though I was saying, hey, look at me, I've done this, no interest. But as soon as I got the traditional contract, it was like, hi, how you doing? You're in the club now. And it was amazing because I had all these other better authors emailing me and saying, oh, maybe we could do a little cross promotion or something like that. So I've done cross promotions with other British authors and things like that, where we email our lists and, advise of books and things like that. It's just been amazing. So Austin Macaulay, it's new, we're getting it going, but it's opened doors. Like I've also done a 25 book contract deal in India because I'm quite excited to look at a different market. Obviously the film market in India, maybe Jack Reed could come with a little bit of an Indian accent. But
you're going to Bollywood. So is that, will that also include some travel to India?
I would love to go to India. The company that I found over there is a very, very innovative group. What they've done, they went to the London Book Fair, saw a way to market books basically by a mobile phone. And they went back to India to their publisher at the time, with a very big, well-known name, and the publisher wasn't too keen. So that the two people who went got some venture capital, went out, start this, and they have been sending and marketing short read books straight to somebody's phone. Now in India, there are 60 million English-speaking readers who read the daily newspaper, etc. Then this company gets a very large investment from the largest telecom company invested in them, which streamlines their thing now. So 25 books, we're into India. I've been doing some online webinars like we're doing tonight. I've done some trainings over there as well. Yeah, I'd love to go. I want to go to Bollywood. We've got to have Jack Creed in Bollywood somehow.
So for the people at the No Pants Open community, they're going to look and I just know that there's somebody out there who's going, well, this is Greg Reed. I can't possibly do that. He's over here and I'm stuck here. I want to put an asterisk by something you said. I went there and they said no. So I went over here and kept pushing. Talk about, for the people who are looking and saying, the doors aren't opening, I'm discouraged. Talk to them and tell them what you do when you get discouraged.
Sure. I see the world as a world of opportunity. That's how I look at it. And when I go to a door and it doesn't open, I go, yeah, I get discouraged. I'm a human being. I do get discouraged. I think, why not me? But I also start to have the mind check. I cannot sit there and start comparing myself to a 20-year author when I'm only 3 years into the business. And I can't, because they're doing 1 million sales a month or a year or whatever, I can't say that, that should be me at this particular stage. But I just keep on going. And when I do make a connection and we do get to somewhere, and even if it doesn't fire, I go, that's okay, because I'm one step further along the line, and the next place might go. So, I'm in India. We're selling some books. We're not selling a lot of books,
Yeah.
but who knows? It may come. I may find a book might get read in India by a film producer, for example. But it opens you up to other things. Someone goes onto my profile, onto my websites, or goes to my LinkedIn profile and says, oh, okay, he seems to be doing things. I think for somebody who gets stuck and whatever, yes, there's going to be roadblocks all the time. And there is discouragement. It's tough. It's tough when you're writing something and it's not selling or all these kind of things. But you just need to keep going one step at a time and keep the vision strong. You have to have, it's anything, no matter if you're writing a book, you're in business, you're a real estate salesman, everything up here is a bit of a mind game. And I don't want to sound like I'm some motivational, inspirational kind of speaker, but I would like to think that I'm more of an encouragement type person. And I encourage people, love the Batman cup. How do we get one of those?
Do you like my Batman cup?
Whoa. I love it.
I've come to your natural crime fighters very naturally.
And so I just encourage people to keep going and persevere, because as you keep on opening some doors, you're making some connections. Like you and I are chatting tonight. Who knows? We may collaborate and write the world's greatest non-fiction book yet. We don't know. But
I know exactly. Well, I've been to India, and I've got to tell you, I absolutely want to go back to India. It's a phenomenal country. The people are just absolutely amazing, and I'll go with you. I'll show you around. I'll be your tour guide.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That'll be a separate side hustle for me. We're always working, right?
Yeah.
One of your taglines is, it would be a bloody crime if we didn't get to know each other. And I love that I've gotten to know you a little bit more on this, and that you're part of the No Pants Nation, where we're trying to change as many lives as possible and positively impact people's lives. Greg, thank you so much for joining us for the No Pants Show.
Susan, it's been an absolute pleasure. I love it. And it's great that you're in the United States and I'm sitting down here in Australia and we can connect. And to all those out there in the No Pants Project, keep going. That's the name of the game. Believe in yourself, play to your strengths, and you two are going to make it. We're all in there as a team.
We are as a team. Hashtag No Pants Nation team.
Love it.
Massive thanks to all of you loyal viewers and listeners of the No Pants Nation for your continued support of this show. As always, if you want us to feature someone that you know, or you yourself have insights that you'd like to offer our community of freelancers, reach out at No Pants Show on Twitter. We can share those messages as well. We also have an email, thenopantshow@gmail.com. And remember, you can ask questions directly to our guests. So join us in the free No Pants Open community, where nearly 18,000 freelancers gather every day to build a business around their lives instead of building their lives around a business. Simply search No Pants Open Community in Facebook to join. We would love to have you. Greg, press on. I can't wait to see what's coming next. You have 2 websites. Email Edgar is your copywriting website, and CT Mitchell Books is where people can find my favorite detective, Jack Creed, and more, and more. But I'm biased. I want people to read Jack.
All right. That's fantastic, Susan. Thank you so much. I've loved having a chat tonight.
Great. Thanks. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye.